time I had the thought of the day, I shared a little bit about faith, and so every time I get to the thought of the day, I want to kind of to share about God and my kind of what I believe in Him. So to start off, I want to share a little story about what happened to me. I was in Mexico for a few years, and my son's out there, and I didn't really have a lot of resources. You guys know it's a little bit more difficult out there, right? And my son was I had visitations every 15 days, and I was going through it. I was trying to go back to school. I was in school, living after school in Mexico, and I remember it was one visit, and I had like barely enough pesos. And out there they use little monedas, right? I had barely enough pesos for the bus to get there. It was like 2 buses to go see him, 2 buses to get back to the school. And I remember I had like an extra 50 pesos to get like a torta and like a little soda for us, you know? And I look forward to those visits, and I know he did too. So it's important that I made it. And I remember on my way there, I'm like, fuck, I don't even know how I'm gonna make the next visit in 15 days. I had no money coming in, like, I had no idea what's gonna happen. And I remember getting to the visit, you know, we ate a little torta, drank a little soda, and we would always pray before I left, you know, I always try to instill that in him. And I remember at the place he was living at, it was like they call it Casa Hogar, it was like an orphanage, right? They would keep your kids away while you were trying to get back on your feet or whatever, you know? It would be like a foster home, what we know as like a foster home, right? And I remember I would take them like little hygiene, like, you know, because they're poor, like they don't have a lot of stuff at the foster homes. So I would take them as like little chapstick during the cold season and little like body soap and like little stuff, you know, so he can have for himself. And I remember at this visit, I would always take him chapstick because he always had these cracked ass lips. I'm like, damn, you're like freaking using it. And I would get the 3-pack and I remember seeing them and I'm like, fuck, where's your chapstick at? Go put your chapstick on. You know, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I fucking just gave you one the last visit I was here. So I had one more in my pocket. I'm like, fuck, here, take the chapstick, you know? So now in my mind, I'm kind of like complaining. I'm like telling God, like, I'm coming over here. I have no pesos in my pocket. I don't even have a, chapstick. Like, what the fuck, you know? I'm trying to do good. I'm on the right path. I'm trying to come visit my son. And I was kind of like hopeless. Like, I was like, I got nothing coming in. My family's all out here. And I remember sitting on the bus on the way back. And I remember I had like 10 pesos left before I left. And he was like, hey, you have like 10 pesos? I get a little bag of chips. We're going to watch a movie. Like, fuck, here's my chapstick and my last 10 pesos, you know? And, I wasn't complaining giving it to him as my son, but I was more like struggling because I was trying to follow God. I was trying to do what was right. I was trying to stay off drugs. I was in a whole other country, and I felt like I had nothing, and I felt like I had no support. And I remember praying on the bus, like, God, I don't have nothing for this next visit. I don't even have no chapstick, you know? And I remember getting back to the place I was living at, and I would have a brother from out here go visit every once in a while. And he would take me like little, Doritos, my Dr. Peppers that I love, and he would take me little things here and there. And I remember getting back to the school I was living at, and someone had told me, hey, someone came to see you today, we don't know, but we have some stuff that's on the counter. And I remember going in there, I'm like, man, and remember this time, I'm in my head, I'm like, I don't got shit, like I'm struggling. And I remember opening the bag, and it was, big old bag, 2 big old family packs of Doritos. I'm like, hell yeah, cool. Like, there was a big old thing of Dr. Pepper, and then one of the girls was there, like, here, he came and brought you this envelope too. It was like 40 bucks. I'm like, that's cool, I can make that stretch for the next visit, And there was another little bag on the side, one of those little CVS bags. I'm like, what the fuck, so I go and I look, and I open it up, and it's one chapstick, right? And I started, and for me, it was like an emotional moment, because I knew I had just prayed on the bus complaining to God about a chapstick, and there it was waiting for me. And so my thought of the day today is God knows what we need. The Bible says that He knows the number that we have kind of on our heads. For those that are bald, your beard maybe. But like He knows us. The God I know, He knows me, and He knows what I need. And so for me, that was a big moment to help my faith. Like that was I still get goosebumps talking about it, because like I said, I remember I was on the bus like, God, I don't even have a chapstick left. I gave Him my lesson, and there it was waiting for me. The blessing was there waiting for me before I even got there. And so my encouragement today is don't lose out on your blessing. Don't give up, because the blessing is waiting for you. Thank you.